Greetings, November 20th, 2014. Well, I just printed 4 proofs of a, I think this was done in fall 1975 when I was living in a house on South Beveridge Street, Beveridge. I'll have to look that up, as opposed to Beveridge. Although back in the 1970s in a college town like Carbondale, there was certainly a lot of beverage drinking, and it wasn't all, like rum and coke and whatever. A lot of beer and liquor drinking. Whoosh! People smoking up the yin-yang. So I had 3 housemates in this house: Dan Weismann, Rebecca Sporn, and Charlie Sealander. I don't think I've seen Dan, I'm guessing, since 1977, the year I graduated. Might have seen him a year after. He was the subject of an etching and a painting. The painting now owned by a nephew and his wife in Mass. There is a video of that up. The etching called Portrait of D.W. Sometimes it was called Portrait of Dan Weismann. Sometimes called Portrait of Comrade Dan Weismann. Collegial term of those years. Was the first artwork of mine to be ever exhibited in a museum exhibit, then called the Sheldon Swope Art Gallery, now called the Sheldon Swope Art Museum, or the Swope Art Museum in Terre Haute, Indiana. It was, I think, 1976. I have 2 proofs of the etching. The linocut would have been done around the same time, I'm guessing fall 75. It was in 2 blocks using this old, no longer available Battleship linoleum, just fabulous linoleum. So this is the underblock, which I just printed the proof stuff in red. So when those are dry, they might be dry tomorrow or tonight, I'll print the key block, which is the black, which you can really see the forms. And what I find interesting is just in terms of how my mind processes and thinks visually, and how it's kind of changed over the last 40-odd years since I began art studies in 1972. And to visually conceptualize in one's head to do a linoleum block print, requires a certain visual ability of processing in sectional areas it's very different than like a linear work like an etching or like an engraving. We have a line, because in a woodcut or linoleum block print, well, occasionally you might see one in a gallery or museum that's very, very detailed, but they're mainly known for their kind of whole areas, whole sections of color, which could be black and white. It doesn't necessarily need to be primary or non-primary color in terms of the use of color. What interests me, looking at this now, I don't know if I'd be able to do a 2-block or even a 3-block like I did of the Jerry Brzezowski reading at the Southern Illinois University at Carbondale Student Union Cafeteria. I don't know if I can be able to put myself in the same, if I could process the same way in order to do that another type of image like that. When I look at this at the under red block, I think, wow, how did I come up with that imagery as the underblock to have this printed on top of it? Now, when this is printed on top of it in black, it's going to really define the whole image really well. So, once the black is overprinted, I will do another video, then I'll have them joined and we can see the progression in one video. For now, there you have it. Readings, December 5th, 2014. Sir Herbert Read had it right. There's a proof awaiting to be printed with the key block. There it is, inked there in black, which I've printed 2 proofs of the 4 I had printed in the red, which is in part 1 of the video filmed on November 20th. And there you have it.
The magic of art making. The realization fulfilled. Thank you, Sir Herbert Read, late philosopher and art historian. You had it right. There's Jerry Brzezowski. Jerry and Dan, say hi. You guys haven't seen each other in like 40 years. Something like that. So there you have it.